Well, China has called on the U.S. and Russia to make further drastic cuts in their nuclear arsenals. Beijing also says Washington shouldn't disrupt the global strategic balance by developing missile defense systems. We can now discuss this with Professor Joseph Cheng from Hong Kong City University. Mr. Cheng, thanks very much indeed for being with us here in the program. First off, why is China concerned about America's and Russia's nuclear arsenals?
Well, China is probably the distant third in terms of nuclear arsenal when in comparison with that of the United States and Russia. It believes that if the United States and Russia continue to develop their nuclear arsenals, China will be under pressure to follow suit, first by devoting more resources to build its MIRVs, that is multiple warhead intercontinental ballistic missiles, as well as to gradually develop a kind of anti-missile defense system. These will be costly. China is aware of the lessons of the Soviet Union in the late, in the 1980s, when it was forced to compete with the United States in terms of military development. China certainly would like to devote more resources to economic development so as to be able to catch up with the United States in the intermediate term future.
Well, what's interesting in this context is that Beijing says that other nuclear states should consider disarmament, but China, at the same time, itself has nearly 200 nuclear-capable ballistic missiles, according to some estimates. So, in your opinion, will it be prepared to disarm as well?
Yes, I think China is, well, at least at the moment, China's formal position has been that if and when the United States and Russia are prepared to drastically reduce their nuclear arsenals to the level of China, UK, and France, and so on, then China will be quite happy to join the club and to be involved in the general nuclear arms control and disarmament process, eventually to arrive at the ideal scenario of complete nuclear disarmament. But certainly this is a rather distant scenario, and China is enjoying its position on moral high grounds, at least at this stage.
Well, Beijing's comments about America's missile defense echo Moscow's concerns that such a system in Europe would threaten its security. So, in your opinion, what are the grounds for these concerns, if there are any?
Well, China, on one hand, certainly would like to see more restraint on the part of the United States to spread its anti-ballistic missile systems, while the eastward expansion of NATO, the deployment of the system in Eastern Europe are of concern to Russia. China is much more concerned with similar deployment in Japan and in South Korea and possibly in Taiwan. If such deployment covers Taiwan as well, then certainly it will be a very, very serious issue in Sino-American relations. Given the escalation of tension in the Asia-Pacific area, China certainly is concerned with the spread and the strengthening of such systems concerning stationing in Japan, in South Korea, and in the East China Sea area in general.
All right, Professor Joseph Cheng from Hong Kong City University, thanks very much indeed for sharing your views with us here in the program.